Hey, and welcome back to Bloomfield, Canada. My name is Filthy. We're going to get into the episode in just a moment. We're going to be doing some forestry and stuff like that. We're going to try and be making some money as well. All that and more is coming up, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the farm. As I said in the introduction, my name is Filthy. This is episode 5. As you can see, I've turned the month over to January, which means we are starting a new calendar year in the series. You can also see that there's a bunch of snow on the ground, which in theory shouldn't impact our playing too much because the forecast is calling for the snow to stop at some point this month. Regardless, what we're going to be doing today is some forestry. As you can see, there's a bunch of very tall trees in the back here, and they're what we're going to be trying to cut down. They're what we're going to be trying to deal with today. If you watch the last episode, I referenced this area very briefly at the end, but regardless, what I'm hoping to accomplish is I want to eventually clear out this entire area of trees, because as you can see, let me spin around before I say as you can see. As you can see, it's kind of surrounded by shrubbery. It's surrounded by bushes and tall grass and stuff. So I thought that this area would be it would make like a nice clearing for some animal pens or maybe some maple syrup production, stuff like that. But we'll see how things go. To be completely honest, this is my third attempt to try and do this job that I wanted to accomplish. So in the first and second attempt, I learned that these trees can be kind of glitchy and that there will be sections of tree that you just can't access or cut down or whatever. So I'll cut the tree down, it will be laying flat on the ground, and for some reason a section from about here to about here just won't let me cut it, won't let me do anything with it. So that's been kind of interesting. Regardless, we're gonna get back over to the truck, because before we do this I want just a little cash injection. We're gonna go find the truck because I came out the wrong side of the field. What I'm saying by cash injection is, as I said in, I believe, episode 1, the price for tomatoes is at its highest in January, and we've had the greenhouse we own producing tomatoes since September, give or take, and it's only produced a couple pallets, but it's still worth going to sell, because the reality is we're not going to be making as much money if we wait. We could, in theory, stockpile until next January, but that's this game has a limit on the amount of pallets that you can have spawned at any time, so it's best to perpetually be taking things off your farm and getting rid of them or whatever. So that's why we're going to get rid of these. They're not worth a lot of money. Oh, pressed the wrong button there. They're not worth a ton of money, as I just said, but a little cash injection is better than nothing. And if I were a betting man, I would say it's probably going to be around $1,500, give or take, which is not a lot, especially considering how much we're about to spend on that plot of land to start cutting down the trees and stuff. But it is $1,500 more than we're going to make otherwise. So we'll just get this last one in the truck, drop it down. It's bouncing around a little bit. Pull it back. Why is it being problematic? There we go. Okay, and there you have it. You don't have to stack things neatly, but in my experience with this game, it kind of makes a difference if you're treating things with care, if you're stacking it nicely, that you can, more often than not, if you're taking care of the way you're putting things in your truck, your trailer, whatever it is you're hauling stuff, if you're taking care, then you can fit more items on it. And in this case, it doesn't really matter because it's only 3, but I'm saying, oh dear, did I just knock over my own mailbox? Yeah. Okay, well, I guess we will have to fix that at some point, but oh well. Here we are coming up to Johnson's Farmers Market. If you'll recall from the previous episode, that's where I sold my grass to. I suspect that throughout this series, this is where we're going to be selling most of our products, and that it takes the most products out of any of the stores. And In my experience, oftentimes it gives you the best price, and you can see that these things are starting to sell now, so we can take off the straps. And while that's selling, I just wanted to show you the price that we're getting for tomatoes, and the main reason that we decided to come to Johnson's Farmers Market over anyone else. You look here, it is the highest price point we can get for the tomatoes, and depending on what you're selling, you're going to want to choose $1,538 for those 3 pallets of tomatoes. And if you'll recall, I believe I said we were going to get around $1,500. In fact, let's check out an instant replay. You know, a little cash injection is better than nothing, and if I were a betting man, I would say it's probably going to be around $1,500, give or take. The reason I came to Johnson's Farmers Market was because the price point was highest, and you'll see that things have different prices, obviously, and generally speaking, when we get to a point that we've got a whole bunch of product to be selling, the best thing to do is load up a trailer with multiple products and take these things to the places that are going to give you the most money. And just seeing this menu here, I think when we get back to the farm, I'm going to turn off tomatoes and turn on lettuce, because look at the price difference here. $1,025 for Johnson's Farmers Market to sell tomatoes, and then you look at lettuce, the exact same store, we're making $1,000 more per pallet. So that's what we're going to do. So as you can see, I am not back at the farm. Instead, I am holding up traffic. Well, that is because for some reason, driving back from anywhere on that main road, I seem to just completely miss the turn for the farm, so I've driven past it. I'm heading back to it now. And once we get there, as I said, I'm going to go shut off tomatoes and start production on lettuce, because I didn't realize that lettuce is the highest money-making item from those greenhouses. So that's what we're going to do first, and then we'll get into the forestry after that. You know what? We're feeling lazy. Let's drive right up to the greenhouse. Okay, blah, 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 blah. There it is. It looks like there's tomatoes growing, but with a quick click of a button, now they're gone. And with a quick click of another button, we're going to start making lettuce. And you can see this is the difference here is, if you look, for every 1 liter of water, you get a liter of tomatoes, and for every 2 liters of water, you get a liter of lettuce, and the cycles per month is lower, so it will take longer. We won't be making as much of the product itself, but as I said, lettuce seems to fetch a much higher price, and that's why we're doing things the way that we're doing it. Close that up, and it'll be a while still before we see any pallets on the ground here, but that's fine, because at this point we're going to be trying to collect them into the new year. Okay, so we're going to go start our forestry now, but I wanted to show something that I discovered in preparation for this episode, that there actually is like a nice natural pathway right here to get into this area. Obviously, we're going to be potentially doing some landscaping and what have you, but as of right now, we don't own this land, so we can't do anything to it. And even further to that point, let's just go ahead and buy ourselves a chainsaw, because we will need a chainsaw to cut down trees. Looking at the chainsaw menu, you'll see here that they're all $1,000, and they're just different brands. To my knowledge, there is literally no difference between the two. I'm sure someone that's familiar with chainsaws, that's familiar with forestry and what have you, can tell me which of these brands is best. But based on the fact that commercialism works on me, that advertisements work on me, I'm going to buy the one that I've seen a commercial for most recently, the Husqvarna 550 XP. Again, they're all $1,000, so I suspect that it literally makes no difference. It's just the look of the chainsaw itself. And like I was saying with the wanting to do some landscaping, we can't do anything because we don't own the property. And you'll see here, as I go to cut the tree, I don't own this plot of land, so we're not allowed to cut this tree. So with that, we'll put the chainsaw away, go to the map, and we're going to go into this menu here and buy plot 57. It's expensive. It's $25,000 or $25,380 of our $37,000. But in the long run, I think it'll be worth it to buy it, and we just did. Because, like I was saying earlier in the video, we're going to be turning this into like a plot of land for probably multiple animal pens, maybe some storage sheds. Like, we'll make use of this plot of land once it's cleared out, and once we can get it landscaped too, it's kind of, to me anyway, it's kind of fun, the idea that we'll have like a bunch of animals and what have you tucked away in, hidden by trees and stuff. Yeah, I am not at all dressed for this weather, so we'll head into this, not that menu, this menu here, and you can see we'll go into wardrobe and just quickly change my look. We're not going to change my race or anything because that would be incredibly inappropriate. We'll throw a, you know what, we're doing some heavy work here, so we'll put on this nice reflective jacket, and to me that's enough of a difference, but I like to go all out, so we'll also throw a little toque on my character and be off to the races. Anyway, that's enough of that. We're going to start with this tree here and kind of work in this corner here and see how things go. The idea being that whenever I do get the ability to carve a path into here, I want the space to be open. Okay, so we'll bend down. You got to get relatively close to the tree, but yeah, like you see, the blue circle is telling us that, yeah, in theory we can cut it, but we're not close enough, so that's why you got to get close. And the reason I'm cutting it so low to the ground is because as you're cutting trees, as you're trying to take lumber to the sawmill, oh, don't fall on my car, thank goodness. As you're taking lumber to the sawmill, the more you cut off of it, the less money you make. Like, you need to give as much lumber to the sawmill as humanly possible. And these trees in particular, I believe that they are birch. I'm not 100% sure on that, but regardless, I believe they are birch. They are super easy to delimb. You can literally just walk up the tree and cut. Okay, so here, I'll demonstrate. I can't pick this up right now because it's simply too heavy. Like, the hand icon is there as if to indicate that I can lift it up, but it's just not possible. And like I was saying a little bit earlier, for whatever reason, these trees are a bit glitched out. That there's a whole section of this section of the tree, for whatever reason, I just simply cannot cut, I can't access, I can't anything. And okay, so this piece is a little bit too big, which is what I thought was going to happen, so we'll just cut a bit more off. And what I'm hoping to do with these first couple cuts is, can I now lift this? Yeah. So I'm going to be using this piece as kind of the measuring block, and we'll try and cut all of the pieces to roughly that size, and that should work out as such that we'll have all roughly the same size pieces, and we'll be kind of maximizing profit. That's about as big as I can make the pieces without making them too heavy to lift, because we just don't have technology to be lifting them with technology, as stupid as that sounded. So the truck is now loaded up, and I'm realizing as I've started that sentence that I bring you guys back in by saying so almost every single time. So I think going forward, I'm going to start a so counter to see if that helps deter me. Anyway, as you can see, we loaded up the rest of the tree, less this pesky glitchy piece here. There's nothing that I can do about it. I can't cut it. I can't do anything with it. Oh, I can cut this a little piece off there. Alright, let's get out of here. And until we actually get a path made for leaving the area, I'm just gonna do things kind of willy-nilly and drive through trees and whatever, because I like to live dangerously. And apparently that is what living dangerously gets me, is crashing into a tree. Regardless, off we go, and here's this left turn, just right. Meow. yes, this is the sawmill. I didn't realize it had an entrance from the side. On my other file, I've been... Fibel? Did I mispronounce file? Doesn't matter. On my other file, I've been driving to a completely different entrance every single time. So now that we're here, we'll unstrap, and you have to... because we don't own this property, it's just going to sell the wood that we have. If we owned it, which you can come over here, I don't have $100,000 to buy it, but regardless, the point of my bringing that up is, if we owned this, we could keep loading it with wood, and it would give us products like planks and things of that nature, but we just don't have that right now. So we'll just go ahead and click that. About 900, just shy of $900, which is pretty good, especially considering we're probably going to be making several more trips. So we're not fully back at the farm, but I did want to show this off, that another reason that I wanted to deal with just those tall trees is, as you can see, you can't really see into that area. It's hidden by all that, and the bushes and stuff, so it's kind of cool that we'll be able to industrialize our property a little bit, and it's still kind of hidden by nature, because in non-winter months, all of these trees and stuff will be super full, and you won't be able to see through it all. So that's kind of the thought process there. I should probably check before running backwards across the street, but what can you do? Alright, back into the truck we go, and we're gonna live on the edge here again, and almost crash into that car, drive back into the little alcove nook situation that we're working on, and zigzag through the trees. That's probably a little bit dangerous, but whatever, this old truck can handle it. And I'm never quite sure how, like, the best way to fell a tree. I'm sure someone smarter than me will tell me what direction it's going to fall. I think this makes it fall to the right, and I'm hoping that's the case, because if it falls to the left, then we'll screw. Okay, so yes, cut the direction you want it to fall. That makes sense, I think. As you can see, I said so again, so added to the counter. As you can see, I emptied out the truck. I sold what we just cut. That tree came to $912, which is a little bit more than the $890 something from the last tree. So I think that's kind of a good indication that it all depends on the tree. It all depends on how good your cuts are, how much of the tree you can salvage, and as I'm recording this, I just want you to know that I apologize if you hear any banging or crashing. The apartment above us is currently being renovated, so that's what that is. But I will try my darndest to not allow the construction sounds to infiltrate the video. As you can see here, I found myself in a bit of a predicament. I was taking this corner a little bit too fast, and this was the end result. My truck is now tipped over, and kind of feel like a turtle that's been flipped on a shell. I'm not really sure what else to do here, so I'm going to head back to the farm and get the tractor, and then hopefully we can right the truck. I have a question for you fellow content creators out there. Have you ever gone a significant amount of time and then realized that your microphone was muted? Yeah, I too have had that problem. I actually recorded the entire drive to the sawmill, but realized as I flipped the truck that my microphone was muted, so that was fun, I suppose. Anyway, now that we're back here with the tractor, I'm gonna try and hit it, but yeah, this is what I was concerned about, is that I don't know if this will do it. Oh, come on, we can do this. I know we can. Like Bob the Builder. Go, 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 go. Oh, okay, there you have it. Just a little Irish stubbornness and a lot of determination, and there you go. So I'll turn the tractor off for now and hop back in the truck. As I was saying when I had my microphone muted, was this tree, I think, is heavier than the first two trees that we cut, in that I had to make the pieces not nearly as long as the first two trees, so I'm hoping that that bodes well for how much money we're about to make off them, but I guess we'll see. And I'm gonna spin around because it's kind of fun to see the wood disappear. There you go. Yeah, almost $2,000 for that one tree. So yeah, that definitely does, in fact, bode well for our tree cutting operation. If we can get some of the thicker trees, then we should be making about $1,000 a tree. We're probably only going to do 2, maybe 3 more trees and then call it a day, because I don't want to bombard you guys with just never-ending tree cutting and what have you. But still taking the tractor back. I just got the truck into the little forest area. Oh my goodness, what is happening with those deers? And this doesn't happen very often, but I'm going to do another instant replay, because I don't know if you saw that, but there was a deer floating in the sky. Still taking the tractor back. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm still taking the tractor back. I wanted to jump in. When this is published, I will be in the middle of a fundraising campaign for the Canadian Cancer Society. I've taken part in something called Dry February. For people that aren't aware, or anyone that's interested, essentially the idea is I have gone completely sober for the month of January, excuse me. February is the month, hence the name Dry Feb. And the idea being, I am going completely sober and raising awareness about cancer and cancer research. Holy crap, the road is icy. Like, I was slamming on the brakes there. So I'm going to be posting a link, which you should see in the description below the video here. And if you have money to donate, great. If not, it would be cool if you could even just spread the word about Dry Feb. It's the Canadian Cancer Society does very good work, and to be honest, I think you would be hard-pressed to find any individual that doesn't know at least one person that's dealing with cancer, has dealt with cancer, has been impacted by cancer. This illness, this disease, this sickness is just awful, and no one should have to deal with it. So that's why I'm doing this campaign. That's why I'm raising money for cancer research and what the Canadian Cancer Society does. They do some really good work, and last year I raised just shy of $400. I'm hoping to hit that mark again this year, but we'll see. And like I said, the link is below if you feel like donating. Awesome. If not, I would appreciate you spreading the word, and perhaps someone you do know or someone you know would like to donate to the cause. Either way, it's very much appreciated. Alright, here we are back. I'm probably going to do this tree here and spin around this tree here, and then we'll call it a day. I know I said I didn't want to bombard you with just tree cutting, but at this point in the production process. I feel like this is going to be a good length video, and I want to save some stuff for another video. For instance, before we get to the tree cutting, I want to pop over to demonstrate what our wheat field is looking like. It's not quite there. I believe it's got 2 more months of growing. I can actually check that. So if you go into this menu here and then change to the growth stage, I am it's the second last growth stage, and then it will turn blue when it's ready to harvest. So I just wanted to jump back in to talk a little bit about what's happening here. Like I was saying when I was dropping the last tree off at the sawmill, some trees are just denser, they're thicker, they're heavier, to the point that you can't lift it up. I'm not 100% sure that it's not just a glitch. Okay, there we go. Perhaps things were just stuck. They might have been just stuck, but regardless, we'll start loading everything in here, and I'll see you in a bit. And here's the last little bit of the tree. It was a bit of a process to get this all loaded up. I don't think that the truck is supposed to have this much lumber on it, but what can you do? That is quite precarious, so what we're going to do is strap it all in, and we'll make sure we have enough. That should be enough straps, but those are all straps put on by myself as opposed to using the this functionality, and you can see like it made the straps a bit tidier, and when you do it that way, the game will ensure that everything is strapped down, and if I had missed one in my process, then it would have taken care of it for me. So we're gonna head over to the lumber mill. There we go, another almost $2,000. So I'm gonna cut one more tree. Holy crap, did I come close to taking out my own truck. But the forestry in the base game is not great, but they really refined it for the Platinum Edition. So if you're interested in this game, if you're interested in the forestry part of this game, then I strongly encourage looking at getting the Platinum Edition, which I will not be doing because I paid full price for this game, and I'm not going to spend another $30-40 Canadian just to have a map that has better forestry. It's not why I played this game. That's not why I got into it. It's certainly, it's cool. It's a great functionality, and it's really interesting to see what people have been able to do with proper forestry capabilities, but we're only doing this for the sake of fixing up our farm. And now for the dramatic reveal. There we go, we've got it all in there. Not gonna lie, several of these pieces were a complete pain in the butt to get on there and stay on there, but it is what it is, we finally got it, and I wanted to try something. For some reason, you have the functionality to open and close doors on your vehicle, or on your truck, so I wanted to see something, if I can... Okay, that's fun, I guess. Yeah, okay, it won't let me put that in the inside the truck. Okay, it was worth a shot, except now it is stuck underneath, so we'll grab that, pull it out, and nice. And we'll see if I can't get this last little piece. Hopefully this doesn't screw everything up royally, but you never know. That could be the straw that breaks the camel's back, or in this case, the wood that breaks the farmer's truck. Start it up, close the door, and then adjust the straps. Oh god, that almost went terribly wrong. This vehicle has ended up working out pretty well for me. I know in real life this is probably way too much weight on the back of the truck, but for right now it works. As you can see, our tires are spinning a little bit. The front end of the truck is being lifted up, but it's just a quick drive over to the lumber yard, and then we'll go from there. What I really need is the Canyon Arrow. It's 15 tons of American pride. It smells like steak, and it seats 35. There you go. We finally cracked the 2,000 mark. That's pretty exciting. We'll get the bed closed, and we'll head back home. We'll wash the truck, and then right before I let you go, I'm just going to re-up the greenhouse. And, okay, we're coming back to the farm. We'll let that guy go by. Should probably check both ways, something that we've learned since childhood, but apparently I've forgotten. We're just going to do one trailer load of water, because we don't really... It's not even half empty, so I suspect that we won't even necessarily use a full load of water, which load of water sounds like a very weird way to word that, but what can you do? Okay, yeah, we've already got 2,000 liters in here, so let's just go ahead and use what's in here, and that kind of solves that problem now, doesn't it? Here's another episode coming to an end. Thank you all for joining me. I promised myself I would never be this person, but here I am anyway. If you liked the video, go ahead and like and potentially subscribe. From what I understand, it helps the YouTube algorithms put my video at the forefront of more people's pages. Regardless, I love you all, and thanks.